latest figures from Iran's oil ministry shows last month's 2.617 million barrels a day was the highest since the implementation of the Iran nuclear deal in January 2016, Donald Trump has said. He will announce today whether he will withdraw from the agreement which was struck in 2015 under the presidency of Barack Obama between the US, UK, Russia, France, China and Germany. U.S. officials have said that Mr. Trump, who has frequently labeled the nuclear deal as a disaster and too lenient, has been tipped to withdraw from the agreement. It is also unclear whether recent visits to Washington by French President Emmanuel Macron and German Chancellor Angela Merkel have convinced the U.S. leader to change his mind. The U.S. president is due to speak on the issue at 9 p.m. UK time. Iran has threatened to retaliate if the U.S. does pull out of the deal, with Iranian President Hassan Rouhani claiming Tehran would remain in the agreement regardless of what the U.S. does. But oil executives and strategists speaking to CNBC agreed the U.S. president would likely abandon the deal and reimpose sanctions. John Driscoll, director of JTD Energy Services in Singapore and a former oil trader whose career spans nearly 40 years, said, Iran has opened the gates, drawing inventories wherever possible and monetizing shipments and sales. Robin Mills, chief executive of Kamar Energy and a former Shell executive, added, it does appear Iran is trying to draw down all its storage ahead of the JCPOA deadline in case it has problems exporting it later. Harry Chalinguirian, global head of commodity markets strategy and senior oil market analyst at BNP Paribas, said the possibility that sanctions are not reviewed are very high. Getty Donald Trump will announce his decision, with Iran threatening to retaliate if the U.S. pulls out. Strategists were also coy on quantifying how much Iranian oil would be taken off international markets if the sanctions are reimposed, and when this loss would start to have a real impact. They argue this would depend on whether Tehran's customers would fall in line and comply with U.S. sanctions, while Mr. Mills said, higher-end estimates, of over 500,000 barrels a day, look excessive given the much lesser international support for sanctions. This time, Ole Hansen, head of commodity strategy at Saxo Bank, said this amount could be as high as 750,000 barrels a day assuming U.S.-friendly countries in Europe, Japan and South Korea cooperate and cut imports from Iran completely. He said, such an outcome would have a significant impact on global balances and would support current and probably even higher prices, adding Saudi Arabia is unlikely to provide extra barrels unless the spike extends beyond $80 a barrel.